Do you think there'll ever be another huge UFC crossover boxing like McGregor Mayweather?
Yeah, for sure. There will be another UFC megastar. There will be another boxing megastar, and so happenly, if they around the same weight, is going to happen.
Y si es contra alguien como Crawford, mucho mejor. Primero,
When the right time is right.
Do you think they'll do a Crawford fight between him and Ilia?
Yeah, please, man, please. Everybody wants to see that. You bring the big star UFC, Ilia Topuria, and fight with the number one boxer right now. If you can do that, why not do that?
We did see Francis Ngannou versus Anthony Joshua.
And you think Topuria can fight with him?
I don't. You asked me straight up. I do not think so because Crawford is not going to enter a fight. Like, you're not going to see a wild part of the fight. Crawford was just going to be too clean, too smooth, too fast, and just keep him at distance the whole time, 36 minutes. They wouldn't even sanction a 12-round fight for Ilia Topuria. He's never fought 36 minutes.
This just happened. Terence Crawford agreed to fight Ilia Topuria. They announced it at the White House. But wait until you hear what people are saying about this fight.
Now, I think them guys got to leave Bud alone. You know, I kind of seen a picture of Bud dapping him up before Bud was going to his workout or leaving his workout. I think them guys got to leave Bud alone. I think Bud Crawford is just different, especially if you're talking about getting in a boxing ring with him, bro. You're not going to last more than one round, I don't think. But you better off saying UFC. Like, Bud is a guy that I wouldn't be surprised if he gets in the UFC and beat the shit out of some guys too, because he got a great wrestling background. I done seen him wrestle real wrestlers on some everyday shit. So I got to be honest with you. I think that I don't know. I think that dude's just different.
You think he could beat him in MMA and in boxing? In other words,
I'm not saying that he can beat him, but I'm not saying I wouldn't put it past him because Bud looked bigger than that guy. He got longer arms. I just wouldn't put it past him. Like, I would not think that. I wouldn't be surprised come fight night if they do an MMA fight, if Bud done knocked him out sleep or choked him to death or something like that. I just wouldn't be surprised.
wow.
A UFC analyst just dropped a bomb. He said Topuria would knock Crawford out. An MMA fighter beating a boxing legend? That's bold, but there's logic behind it.
Terence Crawford had the goddamn audacity to walk out to Ilia Topuria's walkout song. I mean, what on earth is going on? How dare he? That is Ilia Topuria's song, okay? Ilia Topuria took exception to this in a very big way, and now these two are going back and forth. They are talking shit, and Crawford ain't having none of it. He's like,
who the f*** is that guy?
He's not on my level. He's not on Conor McGregor's level. What the hell is going on? I mean, come on, let's be honest. Jake Paul's fighting Gervonta Davis. If that can happen, or him fighting Mike Tyson, if there's a world that we live in where that can go down and get watched by millions of people on Netflix, then Topuria versus Crawford isn't too crazy when you think about it.
Crawford dominates boxing. Everyone knows that. But in the octagon, Topuria's wrestling, kicks, and raw power change everything. The analyst says Crawford wouldn't survive. Fans are already debating who's right.
Ilia Topuria said that he would knock out Terence Crawford in boxing. He goes, I won't talk about what would happen between me and Bud in an octagon. I'll talk about what would happen in a boxing ring. I put him to sleep in the first contact. Chael, BS or no?
I think Ilia knocks him out.
Crawford clapped back hard. He warned Topuria about stepping into his territory. The boxing legend said Topuria has no clue what's coming. But does Topuria care? Not one bit.
From the UFC world, Ilia Topuria says that if you guys ever boxed, he would knock you out based on the first punch.
That dude drunk, you know. Hey, you know, a lot of MMA guys, they drink a lot, so he must have been on that alcohol that day.
Topuria shocked everyone again. He said he's ready to fight whoever wins Canelo versus Crawford. He's not looking for easy fights. He wants legends only. This would be the ultimate crossover. An MMA champ challenging a boxing great. The line between sports is disappearing.
So did you, I can't remember what you said in the gym. Did you say who a good opponent would be?
Winner of Canelo and Crawford. The only thing is that I don't wanna have that rivalry with Canelo because he was my idol.
Chael Sonnen jumped in with a reality check. He asked a simple question. What kind of sense does that even make? Chael says if Topuria can really knock out Crawford, why not just switch to boxing? He thinks the hype is getting out of control.
Ilia Topuria could knock out Bud Crawford on first contact. Is there any truth to it? Why is it always the MMA guys gotta go box? It doesn't sell. James Toney and the UFC lost a whole bunch of money with him. If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia is our champion. After seeing Conor, who could not make an amateur Olympic team, go 30 minutes with Floyd, after seeing Francis Ngannou, who could not get a medal at the amateur, beat Tyson Fury according to one of the judges, I'll stand with Ilia. And how come it doesn't go the other way? And how come, if it's true, you didn't do it? Say whatever you want about Francis. Francis walked away from an active contract to pursue a dream that he believed to be true.
Topuria responded on Twitter. He said, "I won't talk about what would happen between me and Crawford in an octagon. I'll talk about what would happen in a ring. I put him to sleep on first contact." Sean O'Malley made the wildest claim yet. He called Topuria the best pound-for-pound fighter alive, better than Jon Jones. O'Malley said, "Yeah, even over Jon Jones, I think. Dude, his last 3 fights KO'd Volkanovski, KO'd Max Holloway, KO'd Charles Oliveira. Those knockouts are legendary." Then Chael changed his tune. He admitted Topuria's boxing is elite. His timing, counters, and distance control are world-class. Chael said Topuria could actually compete as a real boxer without needing wrestling.
If Ilia Topuria really could beat up Terence Crawford, why didn't he go into boxing? Ilia Topuria's story is a great story, and it actually didn't start with boxing. I've heard many people tell the story that way. That's inaccurate. Ilia Topuria's very first days of training in combat was in Greco-Roman wrestling. Not just wrestling, Greco-Roman specifically, and he was 14 years old. He then got over into boxing very quickly. You'll hear that story.
Chael didn't stop there. He predicted Topuria could succeed in pure boxing. Why? His defense, head movement, and footwork are rare. Chael said Topuria doesn't just punch. He reads opponents, reacts perfectly, and breaks them down like a master. Few fighters have that gift.
Only sharing for you, if once upon a time and we had to trace Ilia back to his youth, if he could really knock out Terence Crawford on first contact, he left the Olympic Games on the table. MMA is not contested. That is a tremendous dream with athletes everywhere, but particularly European athletes. Left it on the table, scratched, could never be pursued. College scholarship, MMA, not done anywhere, cannot be pursued. So if he could actually knock out Terence Crawford on first contact, why did he choose MMA?
Aaron Pico talked about Topuria versus Islam Makhachev. He said Topuria looks like a champion who can take punishment, but something bothered him. Topuria said he'd give up his belt to avoid certain fights. That's suspicious. Pico thinks Islam would beat Topuria anyway because of his grappling, size, and dominance.
That's what a champion essentially is supposed to look like. Make the calls, go out there, deliver on the calls, then all of a sudden vacates the title. I mean, how do you feel? Because you said earlier, like you were looking at him and going, there's holes here.
I think it's good for the sport, to be honest with you. I mean, him and Islam, I mean, people really want to see that. Everybody has their own style, and it seems like his style is just doing what he did. Honestly, I believe Islam is just a little too much for him, but I'm also a fan, you know, so I would have loved to see that.
Usman Nurmagomedov isn't buying the hype. He said Topuria only fought once at lightweight. That doesn't make him a real champion. Crowns are earned, not given. Usman went further. He challenged Topuria directly. He's confident he'd beat him in striking, grappling, and fight IQ. For Usman, this is about proving Dagestan still rules MMA. Fans want this fight bad.
Come on, brother. Ilia Topuria, how he can be lightweight #1 in the world? He cannot be. He did only one fight. I have 19 fights in lightweight.
And undefeated.
I have 25. Now, like, I beat former champions, I beat champions, and I think my resume is like better than him. He have only 15 or 14? 13? How many fights he have?
I think 14. I think that's the number.
Yeah, but I have 14 finished in my career.
Absolutely. So after Islam wins the welterweight title, then you can officially declare yourself the #1 lightweight.
After when I will finish this guy, I will call myself I'm the best lightweight.
Dana White already shut down the Islam fight. It's not happening. Islam's focused on welterweight now. He's fighting Jack Della Maddalena for legacy. Islam wants to dominate multiple weight classes, not chase names.
I wanted to talk to you. Obviously, you had a big week at the UFC. Some crazy stuff went down. With Ilia moving up to lightweight, vacating the title. You weren't able to announce it then, but is it safe to say that Ilia Islam is the fight that we're sort of working towards, or could he be fighting?
There's still other possibilities. So there's a lot of shit going on right now.
Yeah.
Here's the controversy everyone's talking about. Arman Tsarukyan deserves a title shot. He's dangerous and ready, but Topuria won't fight him. He said he'd vacate the belt before facing Arman. Fans aren't holding back. They're calling it ducking.
Listen, when you put so much effort in the game and you have a guy in front who you don't know that maybe he could pull out from the fight, that's not something good for us. It's not on my back, bro. I don't care. They're gonna give him a fight before the title shot because there is no way. I'm the world champion. I'm never gonna give him a chance to fight for the title. I will be like, listen, if that's the case, take my belt. I don't do it.
Kamaru Usman weighed in. He said if Topuria wants greatness, he must beat everyone. Usman said, if Ilia wants to be great, he needs to face the hardest fight. But when Topuria said, I'd vacate before I fought Arman, fans exploded. Is the champion avoiding his toughest test?
Arman Tsarukyan is able to go in there and get the job done, but then guess what, Arman? You have made yourself a star already by some of these antics to build this fight up. And Ilia Topuria, as we know, is already a star. So he's going to continue to just be a bigger star if he's able to stop all these guys that are trolling.
Everybody and their damn mama, they want to see that fight. They don't want to see a fight with Patty the Batty, man. He's saying that he'll never give Arman a chance, for the belt. Like, he'll rather relinquish that. The UFC one does not want to hear that, man. Once you start thinking you're bigger than the UFC, you start to become public enemy number one.
What's Topuria's plan? He's not hiding it. He cleared featherweight, now he's targeting lightweight. His goal is winning a third belt. He wants to be remembered as one of the greatest multi-division champions ever.
And last one from me. Earlier today, Islam Makhachev did an interview and said he's not ruling out coming back down to 155. But if it was up to you, would you rather fight him at 170 to get that third title, or would you be willing to fight him at 55 because that's the division that people say he might be the best at?
It would be much better for me to fight him in 170. And I will beat him and get the third title. That will be the best scenario for me.
Now the Crawford boxing match is heating up. Imagine it, an undefeated UFC champion fighting one of boxing's most feared fighters. Power meets precision, chaos meets skill. This isn't just a fight, it's about legacy and rewriting history. Fans are already choosing sides. If this fight happens in a boxing ring, who walks away victorious? Topuria or Crawford? Comment your pick, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. This could be the biggest fight ever.